Okay folks, we're back again. This is our double header, or the second match in our double header today. We had the winner's side match earlier on there between Baker Maker and Acero. And Acero won out in the end, and well, Acero's through to the next round, and he's waiting to play the winner of the match between Frankel and Semi Pro, which has been scheduled for tomorrow night at 8:30 GMT, and I'll be here to get that one. This match that we're waiting on is a match between Romario and djsimon on the one loss side, race to 100, and the room should be going up in the next couple of minutes. Romario, I think, well, last time I checked he was playing snooker. Let's just check all our chats working. Well, it should be. Yeah, everything's showing okay. So we're just waiting on the room going up. Now, yeah, I think, where is he? Let's have a look. I think Romario's in a challenge room or something now. djsimon, well, he's here. Whether he's here in person, I don't know. We'll find that out. Remember, there's a 20-minute timeout for these matches, so once the room goes up, players have got up to 20 minutes to get themselves in the room. And that room should appear very shortly. Well, I know how Romario's going to play. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to go for his shots. The question is whether Simon can do two things. He has to stifle Romario, and when djsimon gets any opportunities, he must score. Now, I think it was his first match he played, and that was his biggest problem. His contributions were short and sweet and not enough points being scored, and he has to rectify that if he's going to have any chance coming through this match. And he has to play wisely, because as I say, Romario won't mess about, and Romario will make mistakes as well. It's a question of whether Simon can capitalise on it. He has to do his best to stay in the match and can't let it drift away early on. I'll be back in a wee. So the room is up, and of course no players are in yet. So we might have a wait. Well, djsimon has gone in, and Romario may well be playing it cool and finishing off whatever rack he's playing in that room that he's in. Let's have a look. Well, he's back in the snooker room. Well, let's have a quick look and see what's happening there. Yeah, this frame will be over fairly shortly. We've got plenty of time to get it finished off before the room forfeits him. So He's got more than enough time to finish this off. So what is there? 12 points of difference. He can get the right angle in the blue, which he has done. He can try and drop behind the pink. Whether he wants to try and drop behind it into the middle, I don't know. Well, this is a toughie. Still needs a pink and black. And Uber just needs to roll in the pink and it's all over. Right, that takes care of that. So let's join the match room. And remember, we've got the lag off to start with. Yeah, he should be in a second because that frame of snooker has finished. But he might be just letting Simon sit in here and stew for a wee while, which is well within his rights to do. Bearing in mind that I told him that he had 20 minutes before he had to join the room because he asked me. Now, the winner of this match will move on, and well, they'll have to, whoever wins this match, I know for a fact that they're going to have the toughest match of the tournament in the next round, because it's going to be one of the losers coming across from the other side, and it'll be bad news for whoever it is that shows up. Bacon Maker was a loser earlier on, and he's set to play Larry. And a reminder, the match tomorrow night between Semi-Pro and Franco. That's a start at 20:30 hours GMT, which will be 3:15 PM East Coast time, and noon 15, I think it is, West Coast or Pacific time. Well, as I said earlier, Romario is the favourite, and the only way djsimon is going to be competitive here is if he stops Romario scoring and if he punishes Romario for the mistakes. So here goes. Again, I don't know whose cue's what, but both cues are the same by the look of it to me. So we're about to lag off. And of course the winner of the lag will put their opponent in. Race to 100, remember, on the one-loss side. Well, whoever lagged there, they need a bit of practice, and it was djsimon. He's way short with the lag. So he's been put in. Now we saw how Bacon Maker broke off earlier on. djsimon going for a more conventional break, but that's actually turned out not too bad. That looks pretty safe to me. I don't see anything set, but straight away Romario, as I said, he doesn't hang about, he's going for everything. And this is not the shot I would be playing earlier on. You see he's paying no respect to his opponent, quite happy to have a go at it, and this is important, that shots like that are punished. In this situation, it's all about taking your time, studying the table, looking at the lay of the balls and picking them off, and not being greedy. Well, I don't know if anybody's watching the streams. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. The chat should certainly be working, and I'll get the chat on the screen, and my voice is beginning to go, I can feel it. And djsimon left with either a long pot to the corner or the combo along the rail. And that's a good shot, because he's got enough into the cue ball to get out into the table, have a shot in the 7, and a little gentle roll through, and he'll be on the 1 or the 3. Both of them go. And again, he's going around the corner for no particular reason. He didn't have to do that. He could have just ran through gentle enough, and he would have been on a couple of choices there. And now he's in no man's land. So just the safety. And once again, there's nothing there for Romario. And another good opportunity to get distance, get that cue ball down into the long grass. Off the edge of that 10 ball. Well, he's actually banked it up the table. I don't know whether that was a double kiss or not, but it looked weird the way it came off the rail. And maybe the fact he might have just got it too thick. So Romario can play the shot that djsimon should have played and got himself to the back of those 2 balls. And now Romario straight away with the opportunity to break open the balls. Now that is proof that djsimon chose the wrong option. You've got to study the pack of balls, and Romario took the first chance he could, got on the one at the back of the pack, and he's opened up the table. So djsimon's lead was very quickly disappearing, and what's more, Romario has the break ball, that purple 12 ball on the right hand side is sitting in a good position. Now the question is whether Romario can get good on it. He's a bit straight on this 9, and putting all that pace into it, that's why he's missed a 9. Now Simon obviously has to take the 12, and the 9 ball is not in the best of positions, but if Simon can get an angle, he needs a bit more than that though. He's not high enough. I don't want to try and do too much. Yep, the angle wasn't good to get that cue ball into the pack, so once again, take what you can get and just play safe. Now that 8 ball is an enticement for a bank, but it is far too risky to be playing it. The double kiss has spoiled the safety, and again Romario straight in, no messing. Every opportunity he can, he's going for it. Now this isn't easy. Well, he decided to try the cut back into the middle. That was, if anything, that was more tougher than the actual cut to the bottom left hand corner. So an unexpected error and a chance for djsimon again. Now if he rolls in the 5, he can actually kill the 5 and he's on the 4 into the corner. Didn't want to let that cue ball run away. He should have tried to kill it. So now he's left himself, whatever shot he takes here, it's tough. Yeah. You can't believe in yourself. Shots at distance like that. The little kill shot on the 5 ball would have left the cue ball pretty straight in the 4. That would have been a shot to play. So again, djsimon's response is just 1 point, and he needs to address that very early on in this match to prevent Romario running away. So all the balls now sitting in the open. Well, that's gone a wee bit awkward, but he's still okay in the 3 ball. It comes to the rescue, and he's overcut that. So these mistakes are going to happen. It's all to do with what djsimon does when he gets his chance. And all these balls here should be his. And he has to start scoring very early to have a chance of staying with Romario to the end of this match. Now the break ball is there on either side, so he has the choice. And he's also got an angle possibly on the 6. It looks as if it might be a bit, it's a bit straight, but he has to get down the table for this 13 ball in the bottom half of the table. So now, well, the 11 ball's gone, but he can now get on to the 13, and he needs to come back a bit to leave a good angle in that 14, or go forward and around, but not too far. He's too heavy, I think. Needs to bounce. And now this is into a blind pocket. Again, it's not easy. These are tough. Played at pace. Now 14 has gone in, and an extra ball has gone in, and he's got the choice of the 15 or the 6. Now, choosing the 5, he's found the gap. And already, this early on in the match, with the ball sitting the way they are, it's an opportunity to build up a lead. So, needs to be fully focused. And that cue ball needs to keep going. I think he's just made it. Could have been locked up behind the 3 there, but he's okay. Now again, he's running to the balls. How's his luck this time? I don't think it's quite as good. And he's left. Well, whatever he chooses here is tough, because that 9 ball he's close to, it's difficult to judge the potting angle. And the 6 is certainly very difficult from there, queuing over the 7. Now, I would feel you have to go along with this. And it's a good effort, but they are very tough reading angles like that. So the visit ends at 12. And so Romario now has an emergency escape ball in the bottom left-hand corner pocket. If he gets out of line, he can always fall back on that 9 ball. Probably take the 12 along the rail now, I think, if he can see it. No, it's a 10. Well, that's gone wrong. He's lucky he's still got the backup ball and the 8 ball. What's happened here? Surely he can see the 11. Can you see the 11? Yes, he can. Well, he's going to have to play the combo. That 11 and 10 are a combo into the corner. And I think the 8 ball is actually sitting good as a break ball. Now, he might kick bank this combo if that's what he's going to do. Oh no, he could play it from the other side. That's even better. The only thing about that is, though, now he's got no break ball other than the ball on the top rail, and that's difficult to hold for with the angle he has. No, that's finished pretty nice. He needs to get into the cue ball though. Well, he could have corner hooked himself, but he's okay. So Romario goes into the lead. And just nudges out a couple of balls. If he had a better angle than that too, he could have got into the pack. Well, he's just managed to nudge one out. That's all you have to do, is as long as you get one ball out, it's enough to keep the run going. Well, that one used all of the pocket. And now he's running out of options here. And the angle he has in the 8 ball will get him on the 4. He must get a half decent angle on this 4 ball. Well, he managed to squeeze something to get into the pack. That's turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I thought he'd end up trying to use the 4 ball. Now, looking at the 3 balls that are lined up, once again, nothing else needs to be moved there. It's just about picking them off. And already, Romario's built up an 11-point lead. Run goes to 19. And he's made the mistake. And the break ball is sitting there. The 6 ball is there for djsimon. And these chances, he has to score. It is so imperative that he stays with him. And a poor one on the 1. And shots like that are what's going to let him down. And I think Romario will be quite happy to leave the 6 ball there. So Romario's contributions already are, well, that last one was 19. Well, Romario's gone too far. It still won't stop him going for the 6, but that's asking a lot to pot that. And the reason I'm saying that djsimon has to score is because Romario's always going to make mistakes, and he's always going to give you chances. It's about whether djsimon can make the most of what he's getting, and he hasn't so far. He has to stay with him, and the longer you can go deeper into the match, more or less on parity, or you know, a few points this way or that, then you know the nerves start to jangle for both players when it gets down nearer the wire. Well, that's finished in a position to give him a choice. I don't think it's ideal on the one at the back there, but a simple long straight one will do. And now would be the time to get rid of that 6 ball. 6 balls down here doing nothing. It's just a distraction when it's at the bottom end of the table. Much better to get rid of them as soon as you can, and then you can concentrate on the business end. And that little nudge there, well, it's brought everything into play. Now this is where you get rid of the 6 ball. And if you get a decent angle in the 4, you can get an angle to go over the other side, and you're bound to be on something. Now, well, he's not gone far enough, but he can stun in behind those balls, or he can try and draw across, and he's drawn across, but the angle was always going to bring him up the table again, or down the table towards us, so he's got to be careful with this one. Concentrate in the pot, the cue ball will do the rest. Well, that's ended up awkward again. A tough 10 ball, and he sent it to the jaws. So the run ends on 11, but for the time being he's trailing by just the 3. And I think those 2 balls there, Aye, they're no good, they're in the triangle. So Romario's concentrating on getting the 8 ball out of there, and he's missed the 7. So this time Romario's contribution's just 1. And Simon's got a good break ball on that 7. Well, he did have, and now he's finished the other side of the 8. And this isn't guaranteed to go in. So he's going to have to call whatever's going to happen here. He's going to try and squeeze the 8 in behind the 7. Well, it looks as if it's pretty tight for that 8 to squeeze in off the 7. Let's have a look. Yeah, and the 7 balls, it makes the pocket tighter, believe it or not, the way it's sitting against that back rail. He's got to just cozy this in. That's the problem. I think he had to be gentle to try. I mean, it was always going to hit the 7 ball, but now Romario's left with the break ball. So the contributions there were 1 and 1, and now Romario will be spinning off that 7 into the pack. And hit the corner ball, and they've broken nicely, but once again I don't think he's had a great deal of luck. It's not a nice looking position where he's sitting. I mean, this he's got nothing. What's he doing here? He's trying to cut that 6 ball along the rail. Goodness me. That was ambitious to say the least. Now, very short contributions here, but a great chance for djsimon to get into the lead here. Now you see, that's taking a risk because you don't really know where the cue ball's going. Even shots like that, you have to play them with more control, and you see he's just fluffed a 9. This is why I keep saying that you must be thinking about what you're doing. It's easy enough to play the combo onto the ball that's over the pocket, but when you're hitting it at that pace, you've got no real idea where the cue ball's ending up. And so that contribution is only 1 again, and djsimon should have been in the lead at the end of that visit. And the mistakes are coming from both players, as they always were going to be, but as I say, it's about what you can make the most of. So Romario's lead is 5, and remember, we're on the 1 loss side, so it's a race to 100, and that can very quickly get frittered away. And well, the 5 ball is on the end rail. Can he get that one at the back of the 3? Yes, he can, I think. And he tried to nudge into the 8 and the 4. And now he's out of line, but he's got the backup. Always handy to have a backup ball somewhere, because it gives you the opportunity to then try and break a couple of balls out. Well, now if he can get an angle off this 5 up to here, I think he needed to go a wee bit further. He could have then potted the 3 and just nudged those 2 balls. He could leave them as a combo possibly. And now he's definitely out of line. Let's see what's... Well, he could go for the kick bank combo. That's what he's going to do. Calling the 4. And he misjudged that. So once again, this time the contribution's 10. But it's got Romario a 14-point lead. And djsimon has a break ball. And he needs to get good on it. Now he wants to come back the way, whereas I would go forward. That needs to slow down. He's way too heavy. In this instance here, this calls for a safety. And not the right choice of shot. And that's playing into Romario's hands. Because Romario's got the lead. And he's coming to the table with choices of shot. So Romario is going to be halfway home at the end of this visit. More than halfway home. And again, bottom right hand corner pocket, the 4 ball is there for emergency use only. He can work these balls, he can try and open up something if he dares, if he has the option. And he's always got that 4 ball as his backup. And the 6 ball will allow him the opportunity to open these. Well, that's ended up ugly. Excuse me. Well, he's got a shot in the 2. Difficult to read it. Sent it to the jaw. So this visit here from djsimon, there's a couple of balls not ideally sitting. The 9 and what looks like the 11 or the 13. Let's have a look. It's the 11. But if you get that side of them, you could pot either of them and leave one as a break ball. The 7 ball could be a break ball. The 1 could be a break ball. So he has choices. But what can he do scoring wise? Well, the clever thing to do would be to pot the 10 and to pot that 7 and just rest behind one of those 2 balls to clear it. The 10 ball can be potted now, but it doesn't afford a great position to get behind those 2. So he can get rid of one of them and he can draw up the table or spin it up the table to get to this 10 ball. Well, he's decided to take his medicine there. Now, what's he doing? Seems to me you have to go for the 9 and just play for the 10 and hope you get an angle to get the cue ball near the pack. Well, this is a tougher shot. Cue ball's going to be running around the table. And that's going to finish in no man's land. So, just a safety. Needs to get this thin. And that's what djsimon needs to be doing. And just a case of chipping away to get back in. I keep repeating the same thing. I mean, if you can't score that many yourself, then make sure your opponent can't. And Romario's played safe into the head of the pack. And Simon needs to keep this covered somehow. And that's really poor. That's just a free hit for Romario. And so Romario's lead is at 15. And an opportunity here to open some more balls. And he's hung it up. So again the mistake's been made. Now how vital is this going to be? Somehow there has to be a score made. That deficit has to come down. Well, everything's now opened up. There's one blocking ball, which is a 6 ball, but all of these balls are just waiting to be sunk into a hole. It's just about keeping that cue ball free and getting yourself on the next ball. Join the dots, plot your way around the table and score. The other thing is when you start potting balls is not to just get carried away with yourself. Sometimes players speed up and that's when the mistakes get made. So you've got to judge your pace and just keep your mind on the job. Well, the 11's gone to the rail. That doesn't matter for the time being. Now, well, that has gone far enough where Simon can go forward. If he wants to, he can go forward off the 3 with a bit of inside English. Maybe not a lot to actually nudge into those 2 balls on the side. Well, he's looking at a combo. It looks pretty good from here, has to be said. But now, whatever he's going to take now is going to be tough. And that was always the risk with that shot. Whereas he was fairly good on the 3 to get the break. Well, that's nice. A nice cut, and he's chipped the 11 ball out. That 14 ball is not a great break ball. It's only great if you can cut it thin and let the cue ball run into the pack. But, you know, at the way the match is going, you know, you can't concern yourself too much about the break ball in this situation. It's about just eating into the deficit and tidying up the score and keeping yourself in the game. Now, well, he can certainly create an angle to get that into the back of the pack. Whether he'll be on a ball's a different story. See, the flat back pack there's not going to give you much, and he didn't get into it with enough power, but he's scored and he's only 2 points behind and he's left it safe. And from this situation where he's got himself more or less on par, he has to just keep his wits about him. Romario's ready to pounce, and Romario will score if he's given the opportunity. Romario, the strong favourite to win this. There's no doubt about that. But we've seen the mistakes from both sides. Now there's the 5 ball in the open. And the opportunity to nudge something out. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's nothing else on. So a little nudge here, and it doesn't need to be too heavy because you don't want to run through and scratch after the 5. Well, that's unlucky because that cue ball has died stone dead. And absolutely nothing. He's got a risky combo. Very close and very difficult to judge. Once again, the wise move is to play it safe and cover that bunch of balls. Well, he's left a 1 on again. Another poor safety. And once again, that would be an example of where the player's not using the option for a deliberate foul. He could have just played it safe and rolled into the balls and kept everything tight. And it's just another free hit for Romario. You've got to use those rules of the game to your advantage, or as a defensive mechanism as well. Well, again, the mistake's been made, and we're now still 2 points in it, and Romario, and he's, well, in a few of the visits he's only been scoring 1, and he might have got away with that, believe it or not. Well, he's picked out the angle. Well, this, when we're beyond halfway, could be a very important visit for djsimon. And look at the balls that are in the open. They're there to be picked off. Well, this cue ball is going over to the right. Well, the thing is, and when you look at the safety shot that he had, it was far easier just to kill the cue ball onto the pack and leave Romario nothing. The obvious thing you leave yourself open to is Romario does the same thing, and then before you know it, he's trying to get you in 2 fouls and forcing you to get to a rail. It's obvious that can be the outcome, but it's far safer doing that than it is to play a very poor safety and just leave a free visit to your opponent. See, this is where you just have to be wise to the situation and use the head. But nevertheless, Romario couldn't take the opportunity, and djsimon has gone into the lead. And once again, he's left in a position where that 14 is a good bank because it's on that first diamond. Oh yeah, not the 14, it's the 15, is it? It's on the first diamond, the aim, and it's odds on to go in if he gets the line right. And that's in all the way. Now, what we got is a break ball, nothing much from there, but if he can get good on the 8, and again he's just struggling for the pace. He's either over hitting him or under hitting him, but again, this 8 ball is a safety. Just push it and get the cue ball behind the pack. That's a shot to play. Well, that's actually slightly more aggressive because it's at least brought a ball out. So djsimon has a 9-point lead. That last contribution 11. And that's more important that he does that than just 1 and 2 here and there. And likewise now for Romario, he has to be, well, what's he left here? A combo? Oh, that is going in every day of the week, surely. And djsimon hasn't looked at it. And Romario will be all over that like If he gets any sniff of, well, it's gone now, but if he had any sniff of that, he'd have been on it. And djsimon might have missed a trick there, because that was a dead set combo. Like I say, if you've watched these streams before, the thing you should always be doing every time while your opponent's playing is looking at the pack and looking out for combos, because the chances are they're no paying attention and they're no looking at them. If they play safe off the pack, they might nudge something into a combo. So you've always got to be on your toes every second you can. And now Romario let a bullet a gate straight onto this one ball. And now a chance to reduce the deficit. But we've now reached an important sequence in this match, because both players are needing less than 40 to win, and that is like, what, 2.5 racks? So if somebody can string something together, well, Romario's missed the 8, and again it's still a lead for djsimon. And Romario, we always know he's going to make mistakes. He's going to be rushing at it. And it is what you can do to make the most of your chances. Well, that's still okay. With those 3 balls in the cluster, they're doing nothing. He's gone a bit too far. If he'd finished there in the 15, it'd have been a more comfortable shot to play the little break shot. So he could play the 8 and stun out. Well, he's gone around the corner. Now this time he's short on the other side. It doesn't matter. As long as he can pot what's there, that's all that counts. Getting the points on the board is more important. And that's a nice shot. Now, what angle's he got in that 13? Well, he can go forward. If he can get his pace control better, he can land on one of them, and that will do. He's going to run into the 3, which, well, that's ended up pretty good. The only thing is he might end up taking it, but that could be a possible break ball. It's not the perfect position. It's at the corner of the pack though, and if he can catch a corner, the ball should open. Now he's not going to block himself off, is he? I think he has. He might have to call the bank here. Bank the 3 into the right hand corner. I don't know whether he can get the cue ball out of the way though. That's the problem with this shot. He's having to make the bank, but the cue ball's going that way and there could be a collision. But he's decided to try and play safe. And that, well, it's not bad. Likewise again, Romario's going to look at this and just go for the combo. He's not going to think any other way. So djsimon has a 12-point lead, and Romario straight in. Now, very important to ram home your advantage if you can get something off this 3 ball. Well, this is asking a lot to get anything out of that. And he's hung up the 3 and he's scratched, and what's more, he's opened the pack. Well, everything about that turned out great, apart from the fact he's hung the 3 and scratched. And very quickly, Simon's lead may well disappear, but the mistakes have been coming thick and fast from Romario. Let's see if he's fully focused now. Now, a reminder to anybody who's watching, in case you haven't been keeping up to date with what's happening in the tournament. We had a match earlier this afternoon on the winner's side, which was between Bakermaker and Acero. And, well, it was a match that had a lot of promise, especially early on, but then it ended up a comedy of errors as well. But in the end, Acero won out, and Bakermaker's over on the one-loss side. And we've got this match on the one-loss side, and then tomorrow night at 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time, which is 3:15 East Coast, and a quarter past midday Pacific time, we'll have the match between Semi-Pro and Franco on the winner's side, and that's a race to 150. And would you believe it, DJ Simon's hung the 6, and that's a crucial miss at this stage, because very quickly Romario's back at the table and he's still trailing before. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, right in the point. Well, the angle in the 5 will allow Romario to just nudge into these balls here and free them up. And that 11's going to go as well, I think. And now he's out of line. A tough 10 ball. And Romario, just 1 point the lead. And he's overcut it. Well, the 8 ball is in the best position, obviously, the 2, to give a possible break shot, but DJ Simon doesn't fancy the 10. Good evening, Rachel. That'll be Mark then. And the angle wasn't good enough there for Simon to get anything near enough the power to get into the pack. But it's only 2, but it's a 1 point lead. And now we're down to the nitty gritty. Whose bottle is going to hold out? And both players can see the finishing line. And that's a nice little safety. Now, I think Simon just shot straight into the hole. But what I was going to say there is, in this kind of situation where the balls are tight in the pack, it's much better to get distance for your safeties. If you can get that cue ball down onto the bottom rail and leave your opponent playing thin safeties at a distance, it's very easy for them to make mistakes. And Simon scratched again, but this time he might pay the price. Romario will be straight onto that 15 ball. And this could be... It could be the beginning of the end, this, if it goes well for Romario here. And 14's getting into the middle as well, but he's out of line. Still got the 6 ball and a thin cut in the 5. And then he's got the 13. Well, he's actually managed to nick out another couple of balls. But he's got the emergency back up there because he's in no position. But it doesn't matter. It's just about getting the points on the board. So now Romario is 19 away. Well, the match has gone better for djsimon than it could have because he's managed to stay with Romario most of the time because of the mistakes. And Romario's running out of balls here. Well, he's going to have to fire this in. He might be able to play this with right-hand English to try and pot the 11, send a cue ball off there with right-hand English to fire it into the pack. But he's not taking the risk. Has he got a combo? Yes, he has. That's why he didn't play it. So, Romario on to 87. Those 2 balls are in the triangle. And he's managed to nudge the 1 out. And that has worked out extremely nice. And the mistake's been made. And djsimon is going to have a shot that he really has to go for. If he can get good on it, he has a break ball. And of course with the foul, the 4's re-spotted and djsimon I think is getting excited because he's missed a fairly easy 4 and he got himself pretty good on the 1 though. And it's back to Romario. Well, nothing but the safety. So Romario on 89, djsimon still stuck there on 75. And thin off the 1 and in behind the pack is the safety. And now that changes the situation at the bottom of the table here. It's still possible to put the cue ball down here at the bottom at some point, but it would have to be on the right hand side and as close to this rail, on the bottom rail. But once again, Simon's looking to come off the pack to get to a rail when he doesn't necessarily need to. And he's not got to a rail, and what's more, he's left a free shot for Romario again. That had to be tighter into the pocket. And this time, Romario's got the perfect shot, I think, on this 1. But look at where the cue balls ended up. Don't tell me he's got a shot in this 15. I think he has. It is very tight. And it's awkward. In fact, he can get to it. Now, whether he's got the centre of the cue ball, yes, he can get it. And once again, an option on the 14 ball to open the balls even more to go for the kill. But again, the cue ball has stalled dead in the pack. And this time, well, Romario's going to possibly try and play a combo. I think he's far too close to the 5 to do anything. And this could be a lifeline for djsimon. Now, what's he looking to do? Call the kick bank on that one. Well, he's going to have to judge the spin for a start. And this is extremely difficult to judge. Yeah. Now this is djsimon's chance. djsimon on 94, 19 points behind. And Romario just 7 away from the next round on the one loss side. Well, this is where you've got to hold your nerve. And there's nothing easy here. He's a bit straight in that 12. And now he's got another tough one. A cue ball died after it hit the 5. But he's still got a choice here. Get rid of the 9 and go over to the right hand side. You've got to be on at least a 5 ball. Now the option there, the opportunity is there to get rid of the 9. He really must get rid of the 9 now when he has that chance. And then if he wants, get rid of the 14. But either or, when you have that chance at this stage, you can't really hang about. Now, how's that 8 ball sitting? That 8 ball, once again, is perfect for the corner of the pack for the break shot. But Simon has been struggling to get that cue ball in a good position to make the break. Let's see if we can do it this time. He's going to have to put a wee bit of power in this. I see he's left it a bit short again because it's well into a blind pocket. Well, this is make or break. 10 points behind. Has to get it. Everything riding on this shot. And in it goes, clean as a whistle. How's his luck? He's on the 9. And if he just either runs through to the back end or stops the cue ball, he's got a couple of choices. Now he needs to just slow down a wee bit, because there's not much else after these 3 balls for the time being. So well, he took the risk. How's his luck? Well, it's a dodgy 4. He's over the 3 ball and very easy to spin this out of line. But he's got it, and a nice nudge in the 2. And if he can get good on this 7, and he's got the angle in the 2, if he can get the pace right and get to about there, then that's the shot for the opening of these balls. Well, now he's got the cue ball running all over the place and he's out of shape. Now, I don't know whether he paid any attention to where that 7 ball was sitting, but he's now going to have to play the cut, I think. It would have been much easier to pot that ball and just finish the cue ball there and leave that that pot to open the balls, but it doesn't matter. That's done and finished with. He's got 15 points on the board. He's trailing by just the 4 points. And now it's anybody's game. And he's played a decent safety. So Romario, well, the pressure's on him now because he has to keep it tight. And he's played the safety and he's left the 7 on. Now once again, Simon trying to do a bit more, and he didn't get any result other than the fact he's still got a ball to pot. You don't want to start trying to do too much. Well, and again, a shot in the 1. Now, what's his odds in getting good on this 10 ball? Well, the chance is there to do it, believe it or not. You pot that 1, send the cue ball off the end rail, bit of spin on it, off there, down there, and either here, or maybe from here, more likely from here though, to get an angle to pot that and get into the pack. Well, he's played it with a lot of right inside English, and that, I don't know whether that's enough to generate the pace to open something here. Well, he's managed to do it. How's his luck? Not very good. It's a tough 5. And the match is all square. 93 points all. Oh, he's just overcut it. Well, now it's down to the break ball, because you would think Romario's going to take these out. So 4 points left in the table, and Romario still needs a break shot to win the match. Well, that's finished in no man's land, but the 3 ball is in the triangle, so it was going to come down onto the break spot. djsimon needs to be aware of that when he pots this 12. Well, what he wouldn't do for a good position on this, where he can pot, well, he has to go this. Now, can he make the angle off that to get into them enough? Well, he's broken the 13, and this is it. This is make or break. 1 point behind, and this to decide the match, really. Oh, and he played that a nice pace. How's his luck? Well, he's still got the 15, and again it's going to be tough. Has he got a combo? Oh, that combo's got to go. 6 ball has to go. It's dead set. Things like that, in this situation, you've got to be on the ball and keep your wits about you. But right there, well, he's fairly straight in the 5. He needs 3 points to seal the deal. And the 3 balls are all there. Has he gone far enough? Does he want to let the cue ball run? If he plays it gentle, he could get on the 8. If he runs it through, he's on the 1. Or if he goes further, well, he's hit the 8. And he's okay. He's got the 14. So this for the match. Oh, goodness gracious me. Unbelievable miss on the 14. And that, well, that's an absolute disaster. The match ball, and he's hung it up. Unbelievable. And Romario, dead straight in the 14, takes the opportunity to get into the pack. He's got nothing easy. Oh, he has. He can see them. I thought he couldn't see the 11. He can see the 11 and the 12. And that is snatching the defeat from the jaws of victory. And djsimon has got to be kicking himself. I don't know what the language was like, but he's never going to live this one down. And this ball for the match. And would you believe it? Romario has been handed the win, and he wins by 100 points to 99. Well, I wouldn't believe it unless I'd seen it. That was a shocking finish, and probably the most shocked person of all is djsimon himself. So Romario has somehow managed to escape and won by the odd point. And djsimon's going to get into a darkened room, have a lie down, and well, there's always next year. So anyway, whenever I want to remind djsimon, I'll just show him the end of that match. That was unbelievable. So the result should be through. It should be updated, I think. Where are we? There's Romario. Moved on to the next round. As I say, he's got a very tough match. Doesn't matter who he plays. And the match next scheduled to be streamed once where is it? There we are. The match tomorrow night at 8:30 between Franco and Semi-Pro. And we'll be back then. So until then, folks, thanks for watching. Unlucky djsimon. And he done the objective. The objective was to stay with Romario for as long as he could. And then in the end, I think the lights got too bright on the finishing line for him. And he blew it. And Romario managed to sneak through by that odd point. So I'm away to have a lie down, and I'll recover, and I'll be back tomorrow night for the match we've just mentioned. Till then, thanks for watching, folks, and we will see you again soon.